1. Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
I just received this awesome gift in the mail today, and I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate it a ton. This shirt gets me ready for the holiday season with Bullhorn Betty.
Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. So
this is Layla Santinello. She has been missing since June 27th, 2023, and she disappeared from Kingsport, Tennessee. Chronicles of Olivia and I went out to Kingsport, Tennessee on several different trips, searching for Layla Santinello or any information leading to her whereabouts. These are my thoughts on this case.
well, I have to be honest with you. I was hoping by now we would have found Layla. So this has been very hard. You know, we want to bring her home. We want to make sure that her family knows what happened to her, I think is really the most important. Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. Just like to speak to them just for a moment and just say, if you know something, say something, because her life does matter. For the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up.
Once the new evidence came to light, Sheriff Gaylor was adamant that we needed to inform our community as soon as possible.
These were just a few words that the chief of police said at a press conference related to Rachel Morin, which went missing August 5th. However, she was found a day later, bludgeoned to death. Rachel Morin, mother of 5, often found comfort in being outdoors and working out. This was no different August 5th, around 6 p.m. when she went to the Maupassant Heritage Trail in Bel Air, Maryland. Nobody really knows what happened on that trail, but whatever it is, it was really horrible. A teenage girl found her body the next day during search efforts. The horrific scene only can be what is left to imagination.
Her death has grabbed local, state, national, and international headlines.
DNA was located at the scene of the crime.
DNA evidence is part of nearly every modern-day investigation, and in Rachel's case, DNA evidence was collected by our Forensic Services Unit. This DNA evidence has come back as a match, tied to a home invasion and an assault of a young girl in Los Angeles this past March.
This is the first time that we heard of an assailant associated with her case.
Unfortunately, that suspect has not been positively identified, but he did leave behind his DNA. In the video we obtained from the Los Angeles Police Department to be the person that murdered Rachel Morin on August 5th.
Rachel, mother of 5, died a brutal death. Can you help?
And the tip line number is 410-836-7788.
Summer Wells went missing on June 15th, 2021. She disappeared from her home at 110 Ben Hill Road in Hawkins County. On her 2-year milestone, we placed this banner on the side of the road. Since she went missing, she hasn't been heard or seen from again. While I was visiting the area, I saw Don Wells working on his truck and asked him if he'd come down and speak to me, which he did. Don Wells and I had a conversation about his daughter Summer Wells and information related to her disappearance. Don Wells maintains that somebody came on the property and took his daughter away. He still believes after all this time she has been abducted. His family came under heavy scrutiny, but they've maintained their innocence. One thing Don Wells told me is that they have no new leads into anybody that could have been responsible or is responsible for the disappearance of his daughter Summer Wells. Many people across this country want to know what happened to Summer Wells. Where is Summer? If you have any information related to the disappearance of Summer Wells, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
My crazy people of YouTube and X. I almost want to say today is the Manic Monday. I really want to believe today is the Manic Monday because I feel like everybody had the day off after Christmas. And I feel like today is that begrudging day that we all have to go back to work and actually work. It sucks. It sucks, right? Gotta push buttons. Time to wake up, folks. Time to wake up. If you didn't get the message, it is Wednesday. It's Happy Hump Day. For many of you, this might be your Monday, right? And what a great Monday. You're going to be sliding right into the weekend. Good morning, Skittles, crime show. It's nice to have you up in the house reminding us. Don't forget to hit the like button as you are coming in. Our beautiful Sonia is up in the house bright and early, followed by our resident defense attorney, Big Back Mike, is up in the house. Good morning, everyone. Give yourselves a hand. Jessica, Sheila, it's nice to see you, Southern Grammy Wolf. I hope everything is going well for you. We know you had a lot of great news kind of at the end of this year, so we're really excited for you and hopeful everything is going. I'm sure it's not going without a hitch, but hopefully it's going pretty stinking good, right? So the real me too. It's nice to see you this morning. Good morning. Bullhorn Buddy is up in the house. Our beloved Connie is up in the house. I got a great message. And you know what, Connie, you were on my mind when I read it. I mean, all of you guys are on my mind, but sometimes a particular person pops in when I read The Language of Letting Go. Crafty Chris is up in the house. Good morning, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well. Bayou Babe saying good morning to Betty and Shaq. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Christina is up in the house this morning. Good morning, Love Bug. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'm praying that you all survive. Well, you guys are all here, so clearly you survived Christmas. Clearly, that's what you did. Good morning, Lulu's Nana, Luteens. Hopefully, I always say that. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but hopefully I am. Thank you. Thank you. And for the people that are over there with the mute button, trying to drive up the hours on the other channel, I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you. We're going to be getting that channel up and running. You know what? I don't even know what to do with all these channels. So we're just going to build them, right? We're just going to build them and see where they go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we're never put in this position again. Gigi for life. It's nice to see you. Just an old lady up in the house. Good morning. I hope you are doing well. I have not seen your name up in this chat in a little minute. So good morning, love. Good morning. It's nice to see you, love. Who else do we have? Second Thesis, good morning, love. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful old lady O is up in the house. Katrina is up in the house. It's nice to see you bright and early, Love Bug. And we've got Stacy already talking. Turtleboy. Yes, this whole thing is disgusting. We're going to go into it. You guys know I laid into it a little bit, but I had a lot of stuff to go over yesterday. And of course, we get some information back on Savannah, which is not good. We're going to go over that as well. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And this is just one of those cases that it's like, I don't even know how to express it. I really don't. Like, I'm shocked that people support this guy. And I think Dolly said it best on his channel. I don't think it's the people that are supporting him. They came out for Karen Reed. They were wanting to fight for Karen Reed. It's sometimes when you get behind these people that have a good messaging, but do it for all the wrong reasons. And I think that is emblematic in all fairness of this case, where this guy just went overboard. He just lost his stuff. And he was given time. Well, we'll get into the discussions later. But yes, I get it. I get it. I'm going to go ahead and star that. We'll come back to that here in just a little bit. Good morning. Good morning. Who else have I missed? I think we got just about everybody. Oh, Samantha. Good morning, Love Bug. It's nice to see you. Good morning. Don't forget to hit those like buttons as you guys are coming in. As a matter of fact, for those that hit the like button, go ahead, hit that like button and come back in here and tell us where you are from. You don't have to say your address, right? You can just say the state. And if you're even too shy about the state, you could say the country. Right? You could say the country. We don't want people knowing our business. I get it, right? I get it. Trust me, I get it. Of all people, I get it. But maybe just say where you're from and the temperature. Give some people some Doppler radars around the world, okay? We have a lot of people here. New Hampshire. Thank you, just an old lady. I love New Hampshire. I tell you, New Hampshire has a lot of memories for me. Maybe, but when I was in New Hampshire, we didn't have phones and, those types of cameras. Well, we did, but they came on reels of film and, I'm sure that if there's any millennials in here watching me right now, their eyes are crossing. They're like, what? What is that? What is an exposure? How did you guys get photos before? Well, it was a kind of a process. It wasn't a click and print process back in our days, okay? There was a little more involved in it. But I got to tell you, New Hampshire was one of those states that is just gorgeous. It's very beautiful. But I was always often confused being out in the mountains hiking, right? Hiking with snow on the ground, right? You hear the crunch of the snow under your feet, and you're literally in a tank top and shorts walking through the snow. It's the weirdest experience I have ever experienced in my life, but I love New Hampshire. New Hampshire was a beautiful state. I was there before the man on the mountain's nose fell off. I got to actually, and I have pictures of the man on the mountain. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Central Florida, 60 degrees. Oh, got it. Like on here. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Yes, I'm glad you're in Central Florida, but that's kind of my temperature as well. So Savannah, upstate New York. It's nice to see you, Nani Sunshine. Good morning from the Berkshires. Nice to see you, Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois. I don't even want to know how cold it is. I tell you, it gets cold here. Like, even I tell you all the time that our Christmases just don't feel like, so every now and again, like once every few years, we'll get that really, really like bone chilling Christmas. And most of the time it's just not. We have a colder Thanksgiving than typically Christmas, but I think this year we had both like Thanksgiving and Christmas about the same temperature. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. I didn't go outside very much, but I can tell you I went outside in shorts whenever I did go outside. New Zealand. Oh, you're from New Zealand. Oh, I heard that is so pretty. I've always wanted to see New Zealand. Always. 17 degrees I could live without. I have to be honest with you. The 17 degrees, that's about what we were rolling up in Idaho that first time when I was out there with my fingers, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna just shatter. They're just gonna shatter and fall off. They're just gonna break. It's nice to see you, James. Good morning. Good morning. I'm at work, but listening. That's okay, Shannon. Good morning to you too. Good morning. 42, James says. I don't think I like hearing, like when I start hearing your northern temperatures, I like my bones start getting cold for you. I have to be honest with you. My bones, TD Dean, it's nice to see you, love. I have to be honest. Coffee beans. Aw, thank you, Jules. It's always nice to see you. I hope you're feeling better. Georgia is 44 degrees. Well, I will just stay here in Florida. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Stacy. I think Florida really is calling my name. 32 in Cali and pouring rain. Oh, that sucks. That so sucks. That so sucks. But you're up awfully early. It's not even 4 a.m. God bless you. God bless you. But I always isn't New Zealand. Let me think. I'm making sure I've got the right. New Zealand was the one that they did the, didn't they film some parts of Harry Potter in New Zealand? Some of the beautiful picturesque photos and stuff. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of another country. But I almost want to say, hey, Mama Shell Bell, it's nice to see you. So, Lord of the Rings. That's it, Skittles. Thank you. Lord of the Rings. I knew it was a movie. Yes, yes. As soon as you said Lord of the Rings, that is exactly what I remember. Yes, 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 yes. Manic Mama T. Yes, yes. And that's where I saw it was that movie, The Lord of the Rings, that made me fall in love with New Zealand. And I didn't even know that it was New Zealand. Honestly, I thought it was digital creation. I had no idea that it was actually filmed in New Zealand. And when we were hearing, you know how they do that, like after the movie's over, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years, they bring the cast members back and they talk about what they loved about the film, what they didn't like about the film. You know, they start embodying the characters, you know, that whole little after, video of all the people. Anyways, it was one of those types of things that they started talking about where they were filming at. And they were talking about how very cold it was when they were filming in New Zealand. But man, what just a beautiful backdrop. But it was that series that made me absolutely fall in love with New Zealand. New Zealand is truly on my bucket list because of that movie. It truly is. It's on my bucket list. It's one of those things that I absolutely want to go and see New Zealand before I kick the bucket. Now, I might be 70 years old rolling in the wheelchair before I can afford to go over to New Zealand, but damn it, I'm going. Okay, I'm going. I'm just going to have to go. It's nice to see you, Jet's mama. It's nice to see you. Oh, good morning, love. I hope you're doing well today. I really do. I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see everybody. It's actually nice to catch up just a little bit. You know, we've been on such a rush that we haven't had an opportunity to really catch up. So it's been really nice this morning. It's been really nice. Remember the case that we went over? I touched on it briefly. You're going to recognize it as soon as I put this photo of the car up. You're going to recognize it. Remember this? We went over this. This was a gentleman that disappeared. I think it was like 2013. He was in the Army. He lost his leg. He was just going through a lot of emotional situations, and his family got really concerned. He seemed really depressed and everything like that. Well, we talked about this car being found, but they didn't tell us anything. There wasn't a whole lot of information about whether they found him inside the car. We knew he was depressed and he went out. He left all of his items at home, which almost implied he didn't want to come back. And so many years later, they find this car. Well, little did I know. Well, I mean, we did read it. We did know that it was some content creators that actually help. But any opportunity that I get to, you know, congratulate somebody on this side of the screen for doing a job well done. This YouTuber leads authorities to the human remains. So we know that the gentleman was inside. Oh, Sean, TLC, it's me. Good morning, Sean. Oh my gosh, it's nice to see you. Well, happy belated Merry Christmas. I hope you are doing so well. It's nice to see you over here on the new channel. Hopefully we'll get back to the old channel here, but you know, it's my channel. It just kind of sucks a little bit. That's okay. We always look at the silver linings. We always look at, you know, the good, not the bad. So this man's been missing since 2013. Adventures with Purpose were involved in this case and couldn't close it. And then somebody thought about this pond, which was on private property. I don't know if it was open at the time. You know, versus from what I hear, there may have been a chain link fence around it at this time when they go in here and whatnot. Crystal Lynn, good morning. So either way, I just thought it was really good. I just wanted to tell the YouTubers, the content creators, the people that are out here helping and actually did something unbelievable. Just a really loud congratulations. We're going to give them a nice crowd, a nice cheer. To say on this story. We did cover it briefly. It is a sad story, but you know, again, the power of social media is so precious. You know what? And not only that, it just means that people care. Like, you know, people give a crap. Even this guy that nobody knows disappeared from 2013. There's still people out there that are looking for this man, that are trying to help. Not because I believe it was everything that we had, all the information that that we heard about. Yeah, it is leading that way. Now we don't know for a fact, but he right before he lost his life, or he went into this. Oh, thank you guys. Look at you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you, Sean. God bless you. God bless you. And Stacy with 5 Bullhorn Betty Crime Story memberships. God bless you guys. Thank you. Oh, I feel the love and warmth. But it sounded like he was about to lose it. He had already lost one leg. He was by himself. You know, it was just one of those things where he didn't want to be a burden to other people. I truly believe. I truly believe all his medical conditions were really weighing on him a lot. You know, he seems like he had a great relationship with his sister. Probably didn't want to be a burden. Probably it sounded like he was going through a lot of emotional stuff right around the time he disappeared. So, yeah, Mike, I truly believe that. Yeah, it might be. intentional. He did it to himself. Even the stories that brought us to this case, when we were talking about it, when they found the car, everything that I researched leaned to a very depressed man. You know, it just seemed like he was. I think life just kind of caught up with him, I guess, you know, is the name of the game here. You know, he was a well-bodied military guy. You know, military people are kind of a different breed. You know, if anybody has known military, has lived with military, whether it's your spouse or your child or a relative, they're a different breed. Okay, they're taught to be self-sufficient. They're taught to be the protector. They're taught to be the one that is called when people need you. They're the ones that are called. It's kind of this. I want to almost say a proud entitlement, you know, that they all have, and it's earned. It's earned because they've worked so hard. They put their life on the line. But that's what they're designed to do. If you know anybody, like my stepfather, you know, he's Marines. Okay, I mean, I remember one time he was dropping my little sister off. There's a lot of years between me and my older sister and my younger sister. It's not like I was like the scholar, right? Like I was the apple of everybody's eye. Like I was the black sheep, and they're trusting their precious cargo over here with the black sheep, right? So stepdad's coming through the house like he's eyeballing everything, and he's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "What's what?" He's like, "All this shit on your bed." I'm like, "Jack, I just got the laundry out of the dryer." "Well, why isn't it folded?" "Because you rang the doorbell, dum-dum." Like, feel the clothes. They're still hot, Jack. Okay. Right? They're just a different breed. They're different breed. They're very, you know, just they have to have things, you know, the way that they do. So this man probably, I'm assuming, I don't know. I'm not this man. I wasn't even around when this guy, you know, went into this pond or the situation. You know, we're hearing it secondhand and third hand and everything else. But I have to imagine that, you know, a military guy, he's used to people coming to him for help and getting to the point where you're losing your legs, you're about to be somebody else's problem. Somebody's going to have to take care of you, right? Somebody's probably going to have to help you get up and move you to bed. That is one of the worst feelings. And I'm sure anybody that's taken care of their aging parents probably knows the helpless and hopelessness of your parent. You're trying to make sure that they have the most independent life because you care for them and you want them to have this independent life despite what it's doing to you, despite how it's inconveniencing you, but you love your parent. You want them to have the most, you know, activity in their life. You don't want them sitting or being bedridden or anything like that. So the idea for this man having to be somebody else's responsibility with his second leg looking to have to be amputated, I think it did him in. And again, I don't know that, but from what everything that I've been reading, primarily his sister, it leads to that he didn't want to. But congratulations to the people that were able to help finally close this case. This is something I thought was really sweet, and I think much deserved. I don't think anybody is going to blame the Gonzalez for for stepping away and going and enjoying themselves and unwinding. The only reason why I'm putting this up here is not so everybody can follow them around. It's to get people over in the Caribbeans. I don't know how many people we have in the Caribbeans. I can tell you, I'm just going to say this out for Steve and Christy. Don't get bitten, okay? I have to tell you, don't get bitten. What do I mean by don't get bitten? My cousin. I talked to you guys about my cousin. He's a chef, right? He's traveled the entire world. He's gone, I mean, literally the entire world. He's had princes. He's had he's literally on a 3-day, he's been tipped $10,000, you know, from one of his people. So it's hard to express how he got there, but he went to school. He went to the Cordon Bleu, which is an elite school for chefs. And he ended up going to the Caribbeans. He was working for these top, country clubs and everything else. And he had just, I don't know if he was just burnt out from the country club lifestyle or what. So my uncle had just bought a sailboat. He's a Navy guy. So military does run deep in my family. He retired, I think, 20 or 30 years of Navy. He was a Navy man. So one of his things was he wanted to have his boat. He wanted to travel the entire world. So they sold everything and ended up buying this huge sailboat. I'm not lying. They sold everything. Like everybody talks about selling. Well, my aunt and uncle actually did it, where they literally sold everything and went on a boat, right? My aunt needed some land legs again. So after a few years, they ended up coming back and settling down and getting some roots. But either way, my cousin ended up going to the Caribbean. And when he went to the Caribbean, he never came back. And that's where he started to embark on the cruise ship. It's not like a cruise ship line. It's they rent these yachts. He works on yachts, and these really well-to-do, the 1%ers of our world, the 1 and 2%ers of our world, they rent these mega yachts, and they're wined and dined on these as they travel the waters. I remember one time, one of the stories was this particular guest. He never really tells me, he'll tell me there was a prince on it, but he never divulges who he served on his ships. But he will fill me in here and there. But so I don't know which one of his fares this was for, but they wanted lobster. They wanted lobster that evening. Now you're talking about a very ultra wealthy family. And I remember he said that they like to be served at 5:17 p.m. Exactly 5:17 p.m. He said, these people have some of the weirdest ticks, but that's what they want. That's what they get. So he had to have the lobsters dropped. They're in the middle of a freaking ocean. In the middle of an ocean, and have to have lobster flown into his yacht to cook for this fair. And he said that it cost, I think, I want to say like $2,500 just for the delivery of fresh lobsters. That doesn't even include the lobsters. That just includes the delivery of the lobsters. So anyways, that's my story. I want to wish Steve and Christy a wonderful time. It sounds like they're heading to Puerto Rico. They're going to the Caribbean islands, including St. John, which is what sparked my story, St. Thomas and St. Croix, which is where my aunts and uncle and my cousins were whenever he got bitten. And so the only reason why I'm advocating for them is because I want people to know, if you live in these areas, if you're in Puerto Rico, Caribbean islands, St. John, St. Thomas, or St. Croix, they are looking for some people that, know them. They don't obviously want stalkers, and they're just looking for somebody that's out there that wants to, collab, do some fishing, hiking, boating, just enjoy some activities together. They want to drop their, they just want to unwind and have some fun there. So I don't know if they're just looking for some people that know the place, or to give them a tour, or just to hang out and just be family and take their mind off of what's going on in their life. But I do wish them the best on this trip. I know it's going to be beautiful and absolutely much deserving of this. Now, we're going to get over into Turtleboy in just a few moments. First, I just want to say that tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., it appears that we are going to be losing the 1122 King Road residents. I know we've struggled and tried very hard to keep this house erected until after the trial. And it just, I knew that the university's mind was made up. We tried to do something, but they did it so strategically. They did it so they would have the least amount of complications. And, you can't harm them for that. This is an emotional situation for everybody involved, including us, because we want this house to stay up. Do I need to know? Do I believe that it has to stay up to get a guilty verdict? Of course not. Of course not. but it's not about, it is about the conviction. And I don't really, if I were to be honest, and that's what I try to do with my audience, is I try to be audience. Yeah, it was very sneaky. And I think that's why I got my panties in a wad, more so than anything, is just how completely sneaky that the University of Idaho was. And trust me, I don't really like this. The University of Idaho really, really has upset me over this. And I don't know. I think they're probably going to get bad PR from me moving forward. I really do. I just don't see myself. I know my personality, and when somebody kind of doesn't consider the victims more so than the people that are there, like this is an issue for the university, and I get it. It's a financial issue for them, but I'm sorry. I want to make sure when I'm sending my kids to a university and something happens to them, like them being brutally murdered in their sleep, that I expect the university that they went to school, that I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with, to do a little more than this. So it doesn't really matter at this point for me whether the jury needs to see that house. At this point for me, it's they had an opportunity to do the right thing because it was the right thing to do. Not because it was the easiest thing to do, not because it was the cheapest thing to do, because it was the right thing to do. We don't know what those jury members may need. We don't know. I know that justice for 4 victims is on the line, and that's not something I'm willing to gamble with. And so this is something that I would have expected the university to eat begrudgingly with a smile on their face. And they chose not to. And they chose to be sneaky. It's almost vindictive to me, the way that they treated the family. Again, the victim's family. So I'm really, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I really don't. A quick update. Again, I'm just trying to work through this. We're going to dive into a lot of this stuff much deeper at a different live, because we got a lot to unpack with Turtleboy. But this is one that I thought was interesting. It seems like we're gearing up for the 4th victim, the 4th Gilgo Beach victim, that they were not able to tie quite yet to Rex Heuermann. It looks like the grand jury is deciding whether he's going to be charged with the 4th victim. And wasn't it Amanda Barnes, I think is the one that he hadn't yet been charged with. I just wanted to let you know, it looks like it's going to be coming up very, very soon. And this is important to many of us because we've been watching this case. There's 3 of the original 4 bodies that were found. 3 of them Rex has been charged with. But we heard that the 4th one we were waiting on, and then so much time has passed, and we haven't heard any more about it. And after all of this time, so long story short, before we get into the pregnant teen, I just wanted to let you know that, and I wanted to get to the language of letting go. I keep forgetting to get to it because my mornings are a little off, as you can imagine. So let me just get this out real quick. We're on the 27th, and it's cherish the glimmers of light. For those that are just joining in, Morin Brainerd Barnes. Thank you, Morin. I always read the language of letting go here, and we've been doing it now for almost 2 years, and I always get something out. It's the same book we read year after year, but we always seem to get something or pull something new out of it every time we read it. This is for December 27th, and it says, cherish the glimmers of light. And I thought this really resonated with me, and I hope it resonates with you, because this is kind of a lot of what we were talking about on Christmas. I know people who have been enmeshed in extremely hard times. One woman lost her husband and both children in a fire. Another found her teenage child hung to death, suicide, on her back porch one Sunday in the spring. I've known people struggling with chronic depression. I've known people who've lost their fortune in one swoop. I've known people who were active, healthy people one day, and the next day accident paralyzed them for life. I had my years of grief too after the death of my son. Year after year, the pain pounded insistently, threatening never to abate. Listen carefully. I pray you will never have such a time. But even if you're going through something like that, make every moment count.
And pay special attention to the moments when the pain and the suffering subsides, even if it's for a few seconds or hours. Count those moments as gifts, a glimmer of light. Hold them in your heart. Write in your journal about how much it hurts. Feel all your pain. But take the time to document those brief moments each week when just a glimmer of pleasure sets in. Remember, 2 + 2 = 4. 4 + 4 = 8. Those moments will add up. You might not be going through a time in your life that you can relish, but try to find a few moments where you can catch your breath, look around, and say how sweet it is. God, help me find at least one thing in my life that makes me feel good and gives me pleasure, even if it's for one moment of my day. So I thought that was really, really good. You know, I think that's also really good in what we deal with here on True Crime, because a lot of people, hey, Grammy, Mammy, Annie, it's nice to see you, love. Be Betty fan, nice to see you. We see people completely tearing people apart, you know, when they're dealing with grief or the loss of a family member or a child or something, and we will see them over there and we'll see them just get a, you know, little chuckle in or a little smile on their face, and people literally tear them apart for that. Literally tear them apart. And so I just want to say for all of those people out there that, you know, we have to, even in our time of grief, we have to find a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of peace, a little bit of a smile. In our weakest moment, we even have to be thankful. That's what God tells us, to even be thankful in our time of weakness. Good morning, Victoria. It's nice to see you. All right, guys. Well, I'm done with that. We're going to go over to Savannah Soto, another case, and then we're going to get on into the conversation about Turtleboy, which I have a lot of my own personal opinions about it, and I really don't give a damn. For all the people that want to clip this and tear me apart here later today, go ahead and do it. I really don't care, because I'm about to light this man's ass up, and I'm going to light, you know, and again, this is not to his followers that were doing the right thing. These are the people that were complicit in him doing the wrong thing. So I'm not talking about the followers and the people that are supporting Karen Reed, that are out there just trying to get justice for her. I'm talking about the people that were complicit with this nonsense with Turtleboy and what he was doing to people. I have, since Turtleboy has been involved, people trying to justify his actions by pointing at me and saying, I've done the same thing. No, I have not. And I'll be damned if people are going to spread around that misinformation, and we're going to clarify the crap out of it. Because this man deserves to be in jail. He's been given chance after chance after chance. And all he had to do was just put the brakes on it. Pump them brakes. And he couldn't do it. And he kept going a little bit further. He felt he had this arrogance about him. He allowed his head to get too big. So we'll just stick around for that. We're going to move over to Savannah Soto. Again, another sad story. We need to be updated on this. And then we're going to go to the press conference. So here we go.
Tonight, a tragic end in the search for Savannah Soto, the 18-year-old pregnant Leon Valley woman.
If you guys are triggered by certain events, especially when it comes to women and children, you may want to go ahead and exit. Yeah, he thought he's untouchable. Exactly. Cutie Pie, it's nice to see you.
Missing since Friday. It was just yesterday. Authorities issuing a clear alert believing Soto may be in danger. Our Megan Reyna joining us live from the scene. She has been following this story since Sunday night. I've been watching her work it all.
We have some information too, some behind the scenes information. I'm not liking it. It doesn't mean that these people deserve what they've received, but I've heard some other stuff that make at least it not explain it, but we'll talk about it.
She has the latest from the 5900 block of Danny Kaye. Megan.
Well, Marvin, this is, like you said, a heartbreaking ending to this story. We have confirmed through the family of Michael Gitta that both Savannah and Michael's bodies were found here at the apartment complex inside a a vehicle. Police have not confirmed this yet to us, but they said that police told them this information. And we have seen a lot of emotions out here in this apartment complex, both families, of course, of the two out here speaking with police. I'm going to step out. You can see Leon Valley is now on scene. Originally, San Antonio police were the ones responding to this call. And it really was an effort by Savannah and Michael's family today. They were searching all day for clues, looking for the vehicle that they were last seen in. And we're told by family members that they got a word the vehicle could be actually here at this apartment complex.
So I want to make this a point because we hear this all the time. We hear it all the time. We heard it first in the case of Paula Miranda Rosa, where the family, these adult missing person cases, not that that law enforcement wasn't taking it seriously. It's just that they've only got so many resources. They don't know their habits. Family and friends know the people's habits, know what their passwords are, and can typically do a quicker in location. But this is something that is common to a lot of adult cases where the families, and this is what I want to tell you, where the families are responsible for tracking the stuff down. Once you find it, law enforcement will step in. They're saying they're looking for them, and they are looking for them. They just don't know where to look. It's like a needle in the haystack. It's not any disrespect to any law enforcement or any branch, except the ones that really just sit on their hands and do absolutely nothing. But, I don't know that to be the case for this one because they had the endangered person listed very quickly.
And we're assuming, and we can't confirm this yet, but that is
the clear designation.
To discover their bodies inside of that vehicle. Again, this is coming from family. We are waiting for police to confirm this information to us. Savannah, of course, was a week past due her pregnancy whenever she didn't show up to her hospital appointment Saturday night to be induced.
I tried telling you whenever we read that yesterday about her having to be at the doctor's office to induce, that there was something gravely wrong with the situation, because no mother would miss that appointment. We all know that.
And so that's when her mother knew something was off. She was supposed to be in that room when she delivered her baby boy. And so she filed that missing persons report on Saturday night with Leon Valley Police. And that's, of course, what started this missing persons investigation. Michael Gilgo was actually confirmed missing today with Leon Valley Police. And now we have confirmed with his family, again, through what they said, police told them that the both of them have been found inside a vehicle.
So I did want to come back and just, I got to be honest, I'm very, honest with my analysis. When I read yesterday that there was screaming coming from the apartment before she disappeared, I thought that the boyfriend and girlfriend got into a fight. I really did. Until I even expressed this to the Real Me Too last night. She's like, I don't think so, because I was expecting when they found her that there would be alarm bells going off saying, hey, this is a murder case. And I guess in part they were kind of saying, but apparently they kept it close to their chest until the I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the chief or if this was the sheriff, but I think it's the sheriff. But let's just go ahead and put this up there. We're going to listen to the press conference around her, and then we're going to get on with the Turtleboy discussions. Where's my time? So we got about 13 minutes to get this done. Okay, it's up. We're just waiting for him to get to the podium. Why is this not coming in? Can you guys hear it? I can't hear it. Oh, probably.
We do believe that the two individuals are the female who was missing and her boyfriend. Any weapon inside the car? We don't know that yet. We have not been able to move the bodies. Yes, it's the car that was described as.
Can you guys hear that or no?
Yes, the family did. They were alerted that the car was here, and they phoned it in. I don't know exactly what time it came in.
How long they may have been here for?
We're thinking possibly for 3 or 4 days.
So who exactly found the car?
He just said that they. It sounds like they had been deceased for about 3 to 4 days. So it sounds like they were most likely deceased at the time that they were moved. That's what I originally thought, but I think we've got enough details at this point to determine that this is not a murder suicide. It sounds like, from what I was hearing, is that both the boyfriend and girlfriend were bound. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I'm hearing. That has to be rumor right now. I don't want people going around spreading that as fact, because I don't know if it's fact. I didn't hear this is this San Antonio? Oh, this is the police chief. So let me see if I can do San Antonio press conference and see if I can get another one, because that really did, for my end, it was horrible. It was really, really low. Okay, I think this is, let me try to find the actual, is this it? Yeah, this might be it. Give me just a second. Oh, this is on Michelle After Dark. So it doesn't sound like the FBI is involved in the investigation too, from what I'm hearing on her. But we'll listen just a little bit more. We can.
I don't know exactly who found it, but the parents were alerted by someone or the family was alerted by someone who came across the vehicle.
So it sounds like somebody was looking and came across the vehicle. So we'll dive into this a little bit more. They were both found. The baby was not delivered. Here's one more real quick. I think this might be a little more informative.
So this afternoon, her body was found along with her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. Thanks for joining us tonight for News 4 at 10. I'm Jonathan Martinez. Tonight, that investigation is believed to be a potential murder, as San Antonio Police Chief William McManus reveals they believe 2 bodies found inside of a vehicle may have been there for 3 to 4 days. Soto was last seen on Friday, December the 22nd, on the northwest side. Since then, family and friends have been searching for the teen, who was believed to be in danger just a day before she was set to be induced and have her baby. Over the weekend, Soto's mother pleaded for the community to come forward with any information about her missing daughter. The discovery of the 2 bodies earlier today by police, leaving Soto's family devastated. Many of her relatives were at the scene and understandably left heartbroken. News 4 San Antonio's Amanda Henderson is live where that discovery was made with more. Amanda?
And I believe we already heard her statement already. So isn't this the one we just heard? Hold on. No, it was not. Here's a different one.
Yeah, Jonathan, you can imagine it was just an outpouring of grief out here for hours today. Family members only really leaving maybe about an hour or 2 ago. Many of them just staring at the location of where the car was. Disbelief that Savannah and her boyfriend were likely found inside dead. The search for Savannah Soto and her boyfriend has come to a tragic end. San Antonio police believe Savannah and her boyfriend are the 2 people found dead in 2013 Kia Optima at a Northwest Side apartment complex.
My heart is broken right now. And nothing's ever going to replace her.
We first introduced you to Rachel Soto last night. Her pleas were simple: to help bring her pregnant granddaughter, Savannah Soto, home. Family has been looking for the 18-year-old since Saturday, when she didn't show up to be induced. Less than 24 hours later, Rachel's pleas are now for you to remember her granddaughter for who she was.
Oh, let's
She was a good girl. She loved sports. She played basketball with her brothers. But she was a heart. She was beautiful inside and out.
SAPD Chief William McManus says he's unable to confirm if either of the dead are pregnant and calls the case complexing.
I don't want to go into details about that, but again, I will repeat that it appears to be a very complex crime scene.
So we don't know what that means by complex crime scene. We can only assume what it means. But there were a few things that did come out. One of those is the possibility of the gang-related aspect of it, which is what I've been hearing as well, that he was associated with gangs. Now, I don't know if she was as well, but you have to think that usually when somebody's associated with a gang, Their significant other is also associated with that gang. So I don't know, it is just what it is. It's not to be disrespectful to the victims or anything, but, we have to talk about this stuff because it's relevant to the case. Also, in this post by Jennifer Coffindaffer, this is some paperwork. Matthew was still on probation for assaulting Savannah last Christmas, a year ago. So even he is not immune, so to speak, to assaulting her. This was a year ago. I'd have to say that was before her pregnancy, right before her pregnancy. Obviously, things have changed for them. So that is really the first half of our segment, kind of rounded out with the cases from the YouTuber pulling the car out to the Gonzalez, a much needed vacation, the demolition of the 1122 King Road house, the grand jury decision, or they're coming down. The decision is coming down for the fourth victim in the Gilgo Beach. And then we have Savannah Soto, which was obviously found deceased along with her boyfriend. And from everything I heard is that her baby was not delivered. So it sounds like they all died together. It's just, I don't get how humanity can happen. Okay, so getting on to our next segment, we're going to open up the phone lines here in just a moment to speak about Turtleboy. I want the consensus of my audience. I hope people do participate in the calling in, because this is a case where, how do I want to approach this? We as content creators understand our jobs, and some of our content creations are different from person to person. For example, some of us may just truly be here just to talk to people, hang out, have some discussions, whatever. Others, they are, artists, vocal artists, music artists, things of that nature. They do their content here. Some of them are news professionals. Some of them are, a cross breed between news, authentic news professional, mainstream media, and what we perceive as media for ourselves. I've never considered myself a YouTuber, so to speak. Sometimes I'll bow down to the stereotype because I utilize YouTube, and typically that's what people consider a YouTuber, right? Somebody, but I'm also a TikToker but I use all social media platforms, from Facebook to Twitter to TikTok so I consider myself a content creator. I also am an advocate, so I don't mind doing protests and things like that, because that's what I'm a community organizer. That's what I've done here in Manatee County. It's what I do. And so I do things that, push the envelope, not really lawfully, but I do controversial things. So for me, covering somebody that does controversial things, I applaud people that are problematic, within the law, within the confines of the law. That's what the laws are there for. So we don't break them, but we're allowed to utilize them for whatever we choose to utilize them for, because that's our rights here in our country, because this is our country. We are boss. And everybody thinks that the laws are for us. Our laws are not for us. It's for the people that regulate us. We give people authority to regulate us. That is their rule book. Okay. That is their rule book. Let's be honest. It's not our rule book. It's their rule book. You can't do anything until XYZ happens. That's their rule book. I know people like to misinform people about it, but that's how it is. That is their rule book, not ours. So we act within the confines of laws to do things like protesting. The whole Karen Reed thing. I looked into the case. I don't get why they think Karen Reed's innocent, but I digress. It's not my business. It's for each person out there. And each person out there is allowed to advocate the way that they choose to advocate, as long as it's done within the laws. Just because you put a press badge on doesn't give you carte blanche rights to go do anything you choose to do. You have to follow the law when you're acting in a journalistic manner. This idea that just because somebody tells you no, they don't want to give you an interview, you can no longer go around them again is not true. Okay? It's not true. That's not what he's getting in trouble for. He's not getting in trouble for advocating and protesting. He's not getting in trouble for, having his voice be heard and doing journalistic work. He's not getting arrested for that. What he's getting arrested for is the intimidation factor. When you're a journalist, you ask questions. You don't accuse people. You don't hunt people down. You don't go and harass law enforcement at kid games and just because it's on public property and just because you can. It's unprofessional. Many people, and this is what really burns my grits, has tried to justify this man's horrible actions and why I shouldn't have anything to say about it because I've done the same thing. The heck I have. Let me just explain the law. We, the people, own public property. Period. You know, those sidewalks, the streets, those belong to us. We own them. Our government can't tell us to get off public property. It's owned by us. I don't go on private property. I don't go hunting law enforcement down at their games with their children. Typically, when I arrive on scene, I stay a while. If you haven't noticed, right? I find my little spot on public property. I set up my equipment, and that's where I'm usually at for the duration. The only time that I have ever looked for somebody is when Leilani Simon took off and we heard she was out getting drunk at a bar. We got a lead to where she was. Were we hunting her down? No, we were not. Did we say something to her? You bet your butt we did, especially seeing her with another child the size of her son that she just got done murdering. So they're trying to say he has, and just like Jules says, a First Amendment right. He has a First Amendment right to be heard. He has a First Amendment right to be on public property, hold his picket signs up, and have his voice be heard. He has a right to be loud. I have no problems with advocacy for somebody that you perceive to be innocent of a crime. I respect people that stand up and speak up. What this man did was not that. In the front of his people, he was acting like, from what I hear, it looks like the trial is coming up 2025. It sounds like they're going to be, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen in 2024. It sounds like they're going to be doing 2025. Now, their next hearing, they're going to have multiple hearings between now and the trial because they've got motions in limine, motions to suppress. They've got discovery issues that they're going to be fighting over, a litany of things. And they're probably going to try to I don't know if they had, I know they were trying to challenge some of the indictments. We went there for that and they canceled that hearing. I know that's been on the roster for some time. And then the last hearing they had was completely closed off to media and the public. And there was no transcript, which is really bizarre to me. It almost feels like something wasn't done properly, but I digress. I'm not looking into it that deep, to be honest with you. But I do believe, I don't know the exact next court date, but we did get some information that she is going to be, the trial is scheduled to be in the beginning parts of 2025. So I'll keep monitoring that. I just haven't checked her docket. I'll put it on my list of things to continue to check. So with Turtleboy, we knew about all the stuff that he had dealt with the law enforcement. You know, he was just following them around. He was taunting them. He was not being a journalist. I want to make sure that we are very, very, none of the indictments were dropped. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Reap. But Turtleboy, we knew he was going through all of that. He had already been arrested, and he comes out and basically, instead of instead of doing the right thing and coming out and saying, look, guys, maybe I went too far. Well, he really couldn't say that because that would have been used against him as well. But he could have came out to his audience and said, look, we do know that there's something, they're pushing us really, really hard. We need to keep up the great work, but we need to let these people have some breathing room. Something where he's instructing his audience to get off the neck of these witnesses. Now, obviously, it's not his audience being arrested. So the pusher of his conduct has been himself. And so he had been told over and over again, let it be, let it be, let it be. And he wouldn't. Now we find out on Christmas, this lady, which we heard, I don't even want to, and I'm not going to play the audio. I can tell you that Sweet Misery has the audio up on her channel. You're more than welcome to go over there. She needs the subs and the watch time anyways as she's building her channel. But it is good. She's the reason why I ran with the story yesterday morning, because I heard it on her channel that morning as I was getting up and doing my research. So if you guys haven't been over to Sweet Misery's channel, please consider going over there and watching that and listening to that that audio. It was really disgusting. Yes, by you, babe. Disgusting and disturbing for sure. And so he's allowed this money. He's allowed this fight to go to his head. He's doing things that have taken his freedoms away from him, and people are still acting like he's on the right side of this. Listen, if there is corruption, let me tell you something. As a political activist that has, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. They can try to tear me apart and say I'm a joke in this town. I can assure you that I am not. But to each their own. But I can tell you that being a political activist, an advocate, you don't have to. There's none of these charges that are associated with. This is a guy that's hunting people down for everything that's holy. I have been in front of politicians' house with a freaking a machine, a microphone machine, right? You don't go to jail for being loud. You don't go to jail for being on public property. You don't go on jail for doing controversial things. You don't go to jail. The only way you go to jail is if you're violating the law. He went to jail and he still kept doubling down and tripling down. Then he got it into his head that he's this pompous, arrogant, nobody's going to touch me. I'm a world famous journalist. Nobody's going to touch me. Everybody here, not all these people on this platform that says they're against tragedy pimping, and all those people backed him because they don't like Bullhorn Betty. Well, you know what? Bullhorn Betty is still waiting to go to jail. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm still waiting to go to jail. I've been told by these very people that I was going to go to jail for harassment, intimidation, and all this other stuff. And the minute they set their eyes on this Turtleboy guy that's getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, they forget all about their tragedy pimps and their crusade on knocking this out. And they start supporting him and start saying, oh, yeah, Karen Reed. Oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, Bullhorn Betty should be in jail. But hey, let's go ahead and support this guy that's literally hunting down. I don't know anybody in their right mind when they come on this channel thinking I would hunt down a police. We are a back the blue channel here. Let me tell you. And we have no problem talking about law enforcement's mistakes, because at the end of the day, the only reason why I talk about them is because people have this imagination that law enforcement are these super powered people. They're not. They're human beings. They make mistakes just like the rest of us. They're no different than the rest of us. They put their britches on one leg at a time. They make mistakes. I have no problem. If it's intentional mistakes, I have no problem blasting a law enforcement officer up here, even with backing the blue, because when you do stuff that's really horrible to the badge, you disrespect every person wearing that badge. And so we are law and order over here. And I've always told people they don't understand the law. You can hear it in their voice. They're sitting here talking about true crime and literally don't know the criminal penal code. They don't even know the differences between a ordinance or a law. And these are people that are literally trying to explain stuff to you on a criminal and legal basis. They fall short each and every time. This man, I tried telling you, there are limits to where you can go and what you can do and how you can do it. whether you are a journalist or just an American citizen. There are limitations on your First Amendment rights. You cannot go inside a movie theater and scream fire. You can go to jail for a really long time, just like you can go to jail for hunting people down and harassing them nonstop everywhere they go. No, Bullhorn Betty has never done that, ever. If you go back and look at all my commentary, most of it's affixed in one specific spot, not running all over town, hunting people down and being and harassing them and their families. Let's not forget that. Their families. Let's not forget he was harassing people that had nothing to do with this case. Nothing. I kept my mouth shut. I stayed out of it because, quite frankly, I had my own fires going on. But now I'm listening to this man basically forcing a woman to take a pill she doesn't want to take. And as soon as she does, he wants to just walk out on her and leave her to deal with all of it by herself. What a heartless pig. And yet, even after all of that, you still have some Yahoo telling people it's this woman's fault. But this is the same person we call eggplant. So, I mean, you know, there is that. This is the same person that has no credibility, that will never be taken seriously here on the streets of YouTube. And you know what? It comes back to me going back and saying, I watch very clearly and carefully where these people go. Who do they go to? Do they go to shitty channels, crap channels, channels that are truly tragedy pimping channels that used to say, look over there, so you're not looking over here? You know, those channels? If they go to those channels, I know what kind of person they are, right? I always know if a person is here to really advocate for their loved one, or if they're here to make a buck, okay? Like George and Brittany. Are they here to make a buck? Or are they here to advocate for a missing child? Because so far out of that whole entire Christmas list, I still didn't see one thing go over to Nova Grace. So that entire family that has nothing to do with Layla Santinello just got a Christmas list fulfilled and not one thing go to that child's baby. I find that disgusting. Just me. You know, I digress. Everybody has to make their own decisions for themselves. But for me, I find that disgusting. I find it disgusting. But you always watch where these people go. And if you start seeing them go to those channels, you already know they're in it for one thing and one thing only, and it's not the advocation of the missing. And then people get so upset when I call a spade a spade. They don't like me. Let's go illegally take down her channel because we don't want her to tell the truth. Oh, lying Betty telling the truth. Yeah, I've been telling the truth for 2 years. People can't understand how cults and things happen. It's called brainwashing. See, what happens is how this whole situation works is somebody goes on every day, day after day, kind of what they did during the whole COVID thing, right? Where you have the numbers every day, every day, every day. They were brainwashing us. So when you go onto these channels and all they do is talk about bad Betty, bad Betty, bad Betty every single day for 2 years, what do you think they're doing to their audience? Do you think that they are conditioning them to hate Betty? Now we're finding out the stuff that they were saying to them were lies. It's very easy to do. People don't understand how it's done. It's very, very easy to do. And people just hook, line, and sinker. I guarantee if some of these channels told their audience members to get up on a bridge and jump off, they would literally blindly plunge to their death. I truly believe it. People are so diluted that they would be willing to do anything their creator told them to do. Don't worry, guys. Here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we tell you to go to church, not jump off a bridge. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. So anyways, we were watching this Grant Smith Ellis, like literally we were watching it just nonstop yesterday, just getting all the ins and outs of what was going on. And it seemed like it was very intense inside that courtroom. But, you know, the bottom line is I'm sorry. I truly believe in God. I believe God doesn't like ugly. And how dare you? How dare you do such a despicable act on his date of birth? How dare you? I am so sick of evil penetrating the good people out here. I'm so sick of it. This guy probably was normal at one moment in time, but he allowed the fame, the glamour, everybody talking about him and thinking he's relevant, get the better of him. And he used it for evil purposes. And now he's sitting behind jail. And he's probably, his next hearing is not going to be until January 25th. But how dare you? I'm sorry, any woman at this point that still support, I'm not telling you not to support Karen Reed or your advocacy for her. I'm not telling you that at all. God bless you guys that are there. Your leader sucks. Somebody else needs to take the helm of this movement and move it forward. I can't do it. I don't believe in it. I'm sorry. I think Karen Reed's guilty. I don't think she's guilty of second-degree murder. I absolutely do not think she is. I think that she is absolutely responsible for vehicular homicide of another individual. And it's unfortunate, but I'm not willing to stick my neck out on a losing case, first and foremost. And secondly, I just think that if you truly believe Karen Reed is innocent, you need to get out there and advocate for her and continue the work, because Turtleboy is going to be incapacitated for the next several weeks. So your leader is gone, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. So the people that are supporting this man after what they just witnessed him do to another woman, and show that he is absolutely an abusive man, mentally, verbally, spiritually, and most likely physically abusive of women. Sorry, he's got to fail. He's got to fail. You're not going to have me sitting elbow to elbow with anybody that conducts themselves in that manner. I do not like women abusers. I don't like abusers at all. This man is abusive. Period. This didn't just happen last night or the week before or the week before. This man is an abusive man. He has abused other people. He's sitting in jail on 16 freaking indictments because he's harassing people. And then he tops it all off with going and assaulting his mistress, significant other, girlfriend, whatever the heck you want to call her. I really don't care. At the end of the day, she's a freaking victim. And this whole thing with Eggplant sitting there and talking about all her personal private information while telling everybody, you don't need to be worried about this. Bitch, you don't need to be worried about it. How dare you put that woman's information out there? How dare? You know what? In all fairness, nobody should be talking about this. And I'm not coming down on Sweet Misery. Thank you, Sweet Misery, for bringing this up, because she didn't. This piece of shit right here took that private video and audio and put it out to the world about this woman taking this pill about a private medical procedure she was having in the comfort of her home. And this animal put that all out there. And then his buddy Eggplant decides to roll with it and then tell everybody, look, it's not our business. But hey, you know what? She's psychotic. She's this. Listen, dude, you are a big piece of shit. You need to get off YouTube. You need to get off YouTube. You obviously don't understand. You like to abuse dogs. You like to abuse children. And obviously, you support the abuse of other women. I'm talking to you, Eggplant, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, Baby Gap. I refuse to say your name. You will never be on my thumbnail, and I'll never give you an ounce of respect. You don't deserve it, nor have you earned it. You are the biggest piece of shit on YouTube. Absolutely the biggest piece of shit. To sit there and victimize this woman after what your friend just put her through? You know what? Let me tell you something, meathead. These are the types of things. I'm going to bring this microphone right up to my face so you can hear me. Let me tell you something, meathead. You ever pull that shit with me?
which you'd never be able to come next to me with a 10-foot pole. Let me tell you that. I would never be around you, near you, or anything else. And God help you if I see you in public. Because that day that I see you in public, you will be so highly humiliated and embarrassed by a little midget woman that you'll be crying. I would say crying home to your mama, but I have a funny feeling you don't have a good relationship with your own mother. But to put this woman's information out there and then to blame her, let me tell you, if that was me, I'd be in jail right now. Because I'm telling you, I'd knock the teeth out of your throat. You talk to me like that. Let me tell you that. People can say what they want. They can clip this and say, oh, Bullhorn Betty's showing her true colors. She's so abusive. Let a man touch me or hurt me like that. You will see a wildebeest come out of me. A wildebeest. There are certain things that I'm willing to go to jail for, clearly. This woman did not want to do what she had to do. He forced her to. And you can sit there and try to justify that all day long, eggplant. But let me tell you, just when you can't get any lower, you went lower. You are the slime under my feet. So I'm about to walk all over you, little boy. We say no to domestic violence. We will always say no to domestic violence. What happened to this woman should never happen to anybody. Her personal private information should not have been put out here. What happened to this? Well, Eggplant's sitting there saying, oh my God, it's none of your business. Just stay out of it. Just stay out of it. Here, let me throw all of her personal information. She took an abortion pill, fetus be gone pill. How in the hell can you say that? You disgusting piece of shit. And if anybody needs to know the integrity of Turtleboy, let's not forget who released the audio of this person's private information. What scumbags. Scumbags. And I can guarantee you, little boy, I should be talking to both of them. Pull that shit. Let me be at an arm's length away from you. You guys been wanting me to go to jail for a while, right? Like I was supposed to be in jail 2 years ago. All you got to do is put me in a room next to frickin' Eggplant and you'll get your wish. I promise you, you will get your wish. Bullhorn Betty will be Turtleboy's cellmate. We'll be like this. Move on over, Turtleboy. Make some room for Bullhorn Betty. I'll see you in just a few moments. Give me just a minute. I gotta fly. Hold on, let me see if I can get myself on a bomb.
This is only a test.
Good Lord. Oh, and if I need to tell people, I'm not going to beat up Eggplant. Okay, I just want to make sure that I put the disclaimer out there. I'm not going to beat up Eggplant. I might, he does have a mouth on him, and me and mouths. I just have to, pop it, right? I won't hurt him. I might embarrass him. I might make him feel this big, but I won't hurt him. So I really think this guy's just a real class A piece of shit. I'm sorry, and he deserves it. So I want everybody to be able to get a little piece of sweetness today as we watch this man getting shut the F down, which finally, and I want to put this disclaimer on it. Turtleboy, you've had every single opportunity to just stop. How's that doubling and tripling down for you, working out for you this morning as you're waking up to some of the shittiest breakfast you probably have eaten in your entire life? You're not going to hear "we love you." F him. What he did to that woman, there ain't no way I'm going to listen to that shit. Whoever said that, if you're watching the Bullhorn Betty channel, let me just tell you how I feel about you. Female screaming that out to a man that just did what he did. Disgusting.
Get your fat ass up there, boy. Put that lipstick on. You got to look nice and pretty for Bullhorn Betty. Pucker up, baby. Pucker up. Look at that. Are you getting it? Are you getting it now there, Turtleboy? You getting it now? I don't know if he's going to ever get it. He probably still thinks they're just being mean to him, right? This idiot probably still thinks he's on the right side of this. I bet you that idiot thinks that he's getting out of this, right? He's getting out of this. All he's got to do, he's a smooth talker. He's a smooth talker. He's just going to talk his way out of here. Well, let me tell you, Alec Murdaugh was a smooth talker as well. Just saying. We see the end of the results of his time, right? Didn't make it. Look at all that. Oh, you guys are so sweet. We got a lot of people over on the other channel. Aw, well, not a lot, but it's cute. We got 7 over there. Aw, thank you guys. You guys are too sweet. You guys are too sweet. All right. So that's really, there's one other thing. Yes. We'll do this. We'll do this one. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Just to round it all out. Make a nice big round exit. Let's see if they'll let me play it.
Decision disgusting. Tonight, the well-known blogger will not be going home, instead heading to the House of Corrections. This is the moment the blogger known as Turtleboy walked out of the courthouse in shackles. Kearney is charged with intimidating a witness and assault and battery.
Look at that face. Oh, you know what? What did Dolly say? I'm going to blow this up for you guys. I'm going to blow this up for you guys, but you guys are going to see my face before you see his. I'm going to back it up. That Dolly said, watch, that man's going to be crying. Watch, that man's going to be crying. Dolly just said that. I heard that. I don't know. I know he's had another live since the last one I was on, but I know the one that I watched him on, the 8-hour one, he said that this man was going to be crying. I'm going to take you guys back. I'm blowing this mofo up. You guys, I want you to look at that man's face. That man's been crying. He surely has. Surely has. I'm going to blow it up. I'm going to blow this snuff up. Let's look at his face. He's not looking happy, folks. I think Dolly, I think you got something right here. Holy crap. Our Dolly is right. He does it every now and again. I know he blows my mind every now and again too. I mean, what can I say? Let's look at his face.
Walked out of the courthouse in shackles.
That does not look like a man that's happy. That looked like a man that's about to
Kearney
cry.
is charged with intimidating a witness.
Look at that. He looks like he's about to cry.
An assault and battery.
Looks like he's about to cry. I wonder if it finally got real for him. I have a funny feeling the judge is going to let him out of jail on the 25th. I think that they needed to teach him a lesson. I think he'll be out.
On a household member. The prosecutor said.
Right there. That man looks like he's about to cry. What do you bet? What do you bet? Do you guys think that man was in his cell last night crying? I think that man was crying. I think that man sat in his cell and said, "Oh shit, I sure do." I think reality just slapped all over his face. He thought he was going to keep being able to hide behind the First Amendment, behind this journalist stuff. Listen, people can say a lot of things about me, and I don't really care what they say, to be honest with you. I really don't. Don't cause me financial harm. You can say whatever the hell you want to say, right? I really don't care. But I tell you what, I follow the law. I follow the law with my journalistic work, my avocation work, my protesting work. I follow the law. Now, Grant, do I speed the car? Yeah, I have a lead foot, okay? So will I get a ticket? Yes, I will. Do I make mistakes? Yes, I do. Do I still make mistakes? Of course I do. I just pray to God that the mistakes I make don't kill somebody. Let's be honest. Right? Try to get through that red light. I just pray to God that my poor and bad decisions that I make on a daily, because I'm an imperfect human being that needs God, I just pray to God that each and every day I get through the day without killing somebody. I pray to God that my worst mistakes don't injure somebody else, right? Pray to God that they don't injure me either. But good Lord, I'd rather be injured than somebody else be injured. this Turtleboy guy has caused so much stuff. So I think he might get out. I don't know. It really depends. They may get a breath of fresh air, not having him up their craw every waking minute. They may decide that they want him, they like him better behind bars. I don't know. I have a funny feeling that the judge, because the judge is reasonable, but the judge also has given this man time and time and time again to stop. Just stop. And he won't. So I have a funny feeling they're going to let him, you know, have a taste of reality. I think that on the 25th, they're most likely going to get him a bond. He's most likely going to get out. And this is going to be a reality check for him to knock off his shit. People don't deserve to be in fear. They don't deserve to live in fear. Witnesses are witnesses. You know, it's one thing to question people and want them to be in an interview or get some, you know, inside information that nobody else has, right? That's kind of our dream in the journalistic world, is to have that edge over somebody else. You know, that's what we're, so I understand that, but at what point do you realize you're going too far? You know, I would have, I wouldn't be chasing these cops around trying to get that aha moment. I mean, they're witnesses to the case. I'd be going to their friends and family and maybe their child schools and finding out people that are on the outskirts of that person and questioning them. What kind of person was this person in school? You know, I'd be going a different route. I wouldn't be assaulting or harassing or obstructing a specific family or witness. That doesn't even sound good. Like, it doesn't remotely even sound lawful. And I don't need to sit there and have a legal book with me to know what feels good and what doesn't feel good, what feels right and what feels wrong. My mommy did raise me, right? My mommy did raise me. So if something doesn't feel right, I don't do it. I just don't do it. Couple beers, yeah, you never know, right? Maybe I would, right? Stop. This is going to be used against me. I can already feel it. It's going to be used against me in a court of law. If I lay down, will you draw me a chalk line, officer? If I lay down, draw me a chalk line. Is there any cute officers out there? I gotta tell you, I love a man in uniform. I do love a man in uniform. Yes, I do. Oh, thank you, Sonia. God bless you. God bless you. If you guys haven't seen it, did you guys see Sonia's really been cranking some videos out for Layla Santinello, and you know, she did a really good video of exposing some people too. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to go over to Sonia's new channel, please do. We always like to support good creators here on this platform. We need to drown out the bad and the ugly from this platform. And that's the only way we're going to do it, is uplifting good people to do it. So yeah, if you guys have not seen Sonia's page, go over there and sub her up. She's really doing a great job. And I really love to support my mods. Anybody that's willing to move up, you can ask anybody, even like Sweet Misery. If I can give her any bit of advice that I can give her, I give it to her, because nobody really gave me advice. And so I had to learn a lot of the stuff and a lot of the hard knocks all by myself here on these streets. And I got to tell you, I'm a wise person, or I'm a smart person. I'd much rather have been wise. I have to be honest with you. You know what I get from that clip? A female officer of the law was leading him. Very ironic. Leading a female officer of the law was leading him. Are you talking about the lady that was? I don't know. I don't know. That was that, listening to that clip of that lady crying and just, I felt her. God, I felt that pain. I felt that misery. I felt that hopelessness and that helplessness in her voice. I felt it all. I'm sorry. It made me sick. It absolutely made me sick. And to each their own. I'm not here to change minds, but don't come over here thinking you're going to change mine. I think Turtleboy's a piece of shit. I think what he did is disgusting. And, you know, I wish, and to add the insult to injury by bringing that to YouTube, he did all of this. He did this to himself. He did this to this lady. He did this to all of us. Okay. I could have went my whole life without knowing what he did to that woman, but he decided to throw something out there thinking it was going to protect him. Sorry, we're not stupid. And there's a lot of women out here on these streets, whether we like each other or not, we just say, no, I'm sorry, that we can get behind, we can stand behind each other on this cause. And I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. What he did to that woman, he should be in jail. And he is. And I hope he stays there. I really do. He hasn't learned his lesson yet. He needs to learn a lesson. Once his head pops out of his ass and you hear that suction pop, then we know it's time for him to be let out of jail. Until that moment happens, this man is a danger. He's a danger to other people. He's a danger to himself. And more importantly, it sounds like he's preying on a bunch of women because of his newfound prestige, his 15 minutes of fame across these streets. We say no to abuse to women. I say no to abuse to anybody, period. Verbal, mental, physical, all of it. We say no to it. But at the end of the day, what Turtleboy did and what he continued to do was wrong. Is he a bad guy? I don't know. I don't, in all fairness, I don't see a bad guy. I see a guy caught up in the passion of the argument. That's kind of what I see. If you really want my professional opinion, I think he allowed himself to be. I think he got, you're being, I don't care. If people are so invested in me, to stream me, I think that's pretty deranged, especially if they don't like me, but who gives a shit, right? I just want to let you know, you don't have to steal content. You can just go over to Bullhorn Betty. And if you don't want to support me, why even watch me? Sounds a little unhinged, unstable. Sounds like you have more problems than I do. It sounds like you might have more problems than Turtleboy does, quite frankly. I'm always being straight. Exactly. Oh, how do I become a member? Somebody can drop, if you're on an iPhone, it's difficult. You got to drop a link. So lastly, before we go, you guys all know how I feel about Turtleboy. I'm going to continue to go down this. This is I hope that all the hate channels, actually show some type of integrity today and actually run the disgust that they have over the biggest tragedy pimp of them all, Turtleboy. We'll see. We'll see where the integrity lies today. I'll be on the lookout. I wonder if we should start calling out the caller outers. I think maybe one of the 3 channels might just be designated for that, for putting a microscope on everybody else. That would be fun. No, it wouldn't, because nobody deserves it. Nobody. Even my enemies. All right, guys, I think that's really it. All I wanted to touch on before I concluded for today was the clerk. With all the problems with the clerk in the Alec Murdaugh, Becky Hill, everybody knows the story. She's been accused of putting her fingers on the hands of justice in an effort to get a conviction of Alec Murdaugh for her book deal, which is crazy because I think if they would have found him not guilty, it would have been a better bookseller than him being found guilty, which we all kind of felt he was anyways. So I disagree with that aspect, but we did find out that she had some ethical issues, that are going on, even though she appeared to do everything above board. And then her son was arrested for wiretapping, 1 count of wiretapping, listening in on people discussing her ethic issues. So it just really got a lot of people with a bad taste in their mouth wanting to know if one thing has to do with the other, and if Alec Murdaugh is going to get a new trial. I don't know if he is or not. I can say that these appear to be separate issues altogether. It just seems like one was found out because of the other. So long story short, now, in addition to all of Becky Hill's major issues she's got going on now she's being accused of plagiarism. So we're going to dive into that later this evening at our 6:30 show. I know I was going to tell you yesterday that I was going to do a 6:30 show tonight or last night, and I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do it, other than I didn't do it. I didn't feel like doing it. I just ended up taking the rest of the day off. And that's kind of where we were. Hello, Rapper. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing great today. I hope you survived Christmas. I hope you had a great Christmas, though. I do. I hope you had a great Christmas filled with a lot of gifts and a lot of love. I do. What else was I going to say? I think that's it. We've almost done our 2 hours here. Turtleboy, you suck. Eggplant, you suck. Anybody that supports this kind of conduct from any kind of content creator, YouTube or TikToker or anybody is disgusting. We do not do this. I don't do this. And I'm so sick of people saying I do. No, we don't. We went out and advocated for a child that was brutalized by his mother up until the date of his death. And I'm proud of the work we did. And I can guarantee you it wasn't unlawful. As a matter of fact, the work that I did was 100% protected by the Constitution. What this man is doing is pissing all over our Constitution, which I have a big problem with it. So God bless each and every one of you. He deserves to be there. Let's pray to God he learns his lesson so he can get out and start handling himself like an adult. And that's what we are advocating for here on the streets of YouTube and social media abroad. All right, guys. Well, if you don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. For all those people that are Karen Reed fans, don't let this distract you. If you truly believe that she is innocent, keep advocating for her. Keep showing up. Keep showing your signs, but do it in healthy and lawful ways. It seems like everybody that has been advocating for her has been doing it in healthy and lawful ways. It seems like one person allowed this to get the better of him, and now he's looking at a lot of years behind prison and behind bars because of it. So just please, please, please advocate responsibly, do it lawfully. Don't harass people, don't follow people, stay on public property, and be kind. Be kind. If it's somebody that's threatening, smile and say, have a good day or God bless you. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the moment. And I think that's what Turtleboy did. And you see his situation. So guys, if you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, but please be safe be safe and kind to one another. I think it's said best, we don't know what somebody is going through. We don't know, who they've lost, what their personal situation is. So it's very important for us just to be kind to one another. We're all in this same boat. Some of us have it a little better than others and some of us don't. But we're all in this crazy boat called life. We can sit here and put the holes in the bottom of the boat, or you can start helping the people plugging the holes up. It's up to you how you want to conduct yourself and how you want to live for your day. But anyways, I just wanted to tell our wonderful people. Let me see what Stacy, I told her I'd come back to this. Turtleboy is disgusting, and a married man got another woman pregnant and was trying to get her to have an abortion. He needs to be in jail. Yes, he does. And that's what people don't understand. He did this to this woman there. And, this is not the woman's fault. We don't know what he told her. Behind closed doors, he could have been telling her, promising her the moon and the stars. And what? She's supposed to just not listen. She's in a relationship. You're supposed to trust the person you're in a relationship with. If he tells you that him and his wife are broken apart, they're just, they have financial situations that's keeping them under one roof, you believe that. We don't know what this man was telling this woman, but I can tell you that she seemed pretty distraught as to what was going on, and she didn't seem like she really wanted to do it. It seems like she was being coerced to do it, and that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me. Thank you, Stacy, for your 5 gifted Bullhorn Betty memberships. And God bless you, Sonia. Thank you so very much. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, you guys have an amazing day. And hopefully we'll see you here at 6:30. I'm going to say maybe. We're going to put it up. If you see a thumbnail by 4:30, we're going to be live at 6:30. If you don't see one by 4:30, I'm probably taking a break until tomorrow morning. We'll see. All right. God bless you guys. Take care.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
it is. What in the world? You have never even had a conversation with me, and you're saying I would turn on somebody in a split second? But I've always treated you with common courtesy, and I've never turned on you. As a matter of fact, you have been a jerk to me since the time I've met you, and I've showed you nothing but kindness and courtesy. So if anybody would turn on anybody in a split second, my dear, it would be you. God bless you, and I hope you change your evil and wicked ways.